can't believe I'm going to try this, but we are going to be doing our first 24-hour challenge. I really thought I wanted to read it, and I almost contemplated, I almost soft DNF'd this, but it is the My series because I've been seeing this everywhere. I'm super curious about it right now. Now, if you don't know me, hi, my name's Telika and I'm a new mum. I do have a baby who is 5 months old, so because of that, this reading challenge is going to be a tiny bit tweaked and different. Instead of staying up all night and all day, I will be sleeping, and because of that, we're going to be recording active time reading. So I have picked out my 24-hour TBR for this video. I mean, I hope I can read them all, but I don't read that fast, so So starting off, I've got my Kindle and I'm currently reading Zodiac Academy Heartless Sky. With this, I do have, I think, about 4 hours or 4.5 hours left of this book. So we're going to be finishing this. This is like one of the major goals, okay? And then next we have Girly in Pieces by Kathleen Glasgow, something like that. This one he took me by surprise, but definitely check your triggers because this is actually a mental health book, okay? And I mean, it didn't make sense until I read it, but this is a hint about, it's a girl who, that's all I'm gonna say. It's probably cryptic if you don't know, but yeah, check your triggers if you find this interesting. But also with this one, there's no chapters. It's like a diary, but there's no dates or anything. So I don't know what the rest of the book is like, but I feel like this could potentially be quick if they're kind of like short diary entries. Next we have Butchered and Blackbird, which this has been on my TBR for the longest time. I tried to read it in October and now it's back on my January TBR, and I believe I also had it on my summer TBR too because of the movie coming out and because of the new book, the third book in the installment coming out in February, which it comes out on my birthday. I'm so excited. I would love to read this in Leather and Lark. I really hope I like this so then I can read the third one on my birthday. Anyway, Butchered and Blackbird, if you don't know, it's a serial killer rom-com book. Essentially, it's got a trigger page as well. Apparently check your triggers. I think it's got like fake cannibalism, something to do with cookies and cream ice cream. I don't know, but I'm curious. And then I have Powerful. This actually isn't a book, this is a novella from the Powerless series. Does Powerless have like another name? It's literally just called the Powerless trilogy. So we have Powerful. It's a novella. Novellas are short and nice and quick, but apparently this is actually really, really, really good. And apparently it's also really, really sad. So buckle up because this is definitely high up on my list of what I want to read in this challenge. And then I have Book Lovers and Beach Read, both by Emily Henry. I'm probably going to read Beach Read though over Book Lovers because I do have an Emily Henry video where I'm actually reading these two books and Happy Place, so I want to get a start on it, okay? So one of these I'll be reading. So they're the ones that I've chosen for the TBR, but if nothing fills me when I really need it, I may turn my head to another one or try and find a shorter book. I'm not sure. Also, because I do have a baby though, I'm going to be using the audiobook versions as well as reading the physical. So I'm going to be trying my absolute best to do this as straight as possible. So we got 24 hours on the clock right now. And I'm going to continue Zodiac. Okay guys, it is the next day, but I did finish Zodiac Academy Heartless Sky, I think it was called. Yeah, Heartless Sky. So even though I had 4 hours left, it took me so much longer to read because of everything I had to do in between. So in the end, I read part audiobook, which I ended up putting on like 1.5 speed, I think. So it kind of like halved the time. And then the last part that I actually read, I read the last, I think, maybe 12 chapters, like the last 10%. And I was like skim reading it because there was things that were happening that I was like, I don't care. I need to know what's happening to this other person. So in the end, I finished this, but I did end up finishing it at like 11 o'clock. So that means at the moment we currently have 21 hours and 40 minutes left. So because it's during the day, I'm going to be doing a mix of reading, but I do just kind of want something quick at the moment because the next Zodiac Academy book is literally like, I think 1100 pages long. It's like over 1,000 pages. And apparently it's really good to do that book 8 with tandem reading with 8.5. So that's what we're going to be doing, but not straight away. So it's currently nap time. So I really want like a short, easy book. I did previously start Girl in Pieces and I got onto page 20, but I feel like this is too deep at the moment for me to read. So I've got the two that I'm heading towards is Powerful because it is a novella and it is, I can't remember, was it 200 and something, 243 pages. So I feel like I could hopefully smash this one out. Or I'm thinking beach read because it is very summery. I am going to the beach on Thursday though, so I might actually take this Thursday. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to read the first sentence or the first paragraph and we'll see. There is like an ability list. What? This wasn't in Powerless, but there's like an ability list and like the different levels. We had the map we did have in Powerless, but we didn't have that first page. Not that I remember anyway. I feel like I would have remembered that. I don't know. Was that in there? I don't even know now. Okay. 5 years ago. Chapter 1 is like a different name and I was trying to work out what it is because of the writing. Like, this is the writing and I'm like, is that like a H or what? But I think it's an M. Oh, actually, no, I thought it was an A. I was like, A-L. We're going to do Powerful. I'm going to sit and we are... What's the time? I probably have a good... I probably have like a good maybe half an hour, 45 minutes that I can sit and start this. And then when she wakes up, I might start the audiobook for book 8 and 8.5 and I'll look up the tandem reading, the best way to do it. So we're going to have 3 books on the go. I ended up falling asleep last night. So I have started Powerful. Honestly, it started off really slow because I wasn't like a huge fan of Powerless. I loved the start of it, but it just died off halfway. So it did take a bit to get back into this. I really thought I wanted to read it and I almost soft DNF'd this, but I just told myself to just keep going because I'm just not interested in the story, you know? So because I did fall asleep, when I woke up I stopped the timer, so I'm not too sure. I think I only slept for like 30 minutes or an hour or something and then I just went to bed. So because of that, at the moment we have 18 and a half hours left of this challenge. I was honestly hoping I would have this done by this afternoon, but I don't think that's going to happen because that means it's quite literally a whole day, but that's okay. I'm going to try my best. So far though, in the 6 hours, here is our little recap. We read Zodiac Academy Heartless Sky, which is book 7, 136 pages, and then I finished that book. Now we are currently reading, I also forgot to mention, when I started this in the afternoon, I think I went to start it at like 3 o'clock or something, I got bored. This was when I was wondering if I should stop reading it. I did get bored, so I switched to the audiobooks for Zodiac Academy. And then I decided to come back to this later last night. So then I started Zodiac Academy 8 and Zodiac Academy 8.5 because I have decided to tandem read these two. If you ever read the series, I've really just started tandem reading, and honestly, I can't picture not reading 8.5 at the moment because it's making so much sense. Like it once you read 7, you'll understand. So for number 8, we are 58 pages in, and for 8.5, we are 33 pages in. And then for Powerful, we are 85 pages in. My goal last night was to get up to 100, but I fell asleep. I literally passed out. Nothing I can do. So I'm going to keep reading that today. And like it feels small, but it's just the story. I think it's the characters. I just didn't really feel for the characters in Powerless. I know this isn't Peyton and Kai, but just the whole world in general, I just didn't love it. It was average. So hopefully, I have heard this is sad though. I'm more interested in the ending of this book because, I mean, I don't want to spoil Powerless for you. So you'll have to go read that. But because of what happens at the end of Powerless, I'm interested in the ending of this one to see it from her point of view. But honestly, if I get to like halfway through this book, I may DNF it. We'll see. So I'm just going to read for a bit now. I'm gonna just stay in my PJs. I brought my first Peter Alexander PJ set, and it's these Pooh Bear ones, and they're so cute and they're so comfy. I always wondered if they're worth the money, but they're actually like quite comfy, so they might be. Okay, so I'm going to keep reading Powerful, and I'll update you probably, I'm gonna say probably later today. See how much I can get done. Pretty much I do need to go and run down to the chemist soon. So normally what happens is if I'm in the car, I'll listen to the audiobook. So I'm going to try and keep, listening. So we'll see how far we get. So pretty much in the Zodiac Academy series, I really can't tell you what happens in the books that I'm reading because they are massive spoilers if you haven't read the first one. But all I will say is that they're all fae in this place called Solaria, and Zodiac Academy is the school that they attend. It follows two twin girls, the Vega twins, who grew up in the mortal world and they never knew that they were fae. They never knew any of this existed, and they pretty much go and get fetched and taken back to Solaria in order to claim the throne. That's all I'm gonna say. Oh, and there's 4 other heirs who are all boys who are lined up for getting the throne, and one of them in particular has been training to claim the throne. So these girls from the mortal world need to level up and challenge these guys to take the throne, because technically it's meant to be the girls' throne, but because they're not there, the boys are claiming it. That's all I'm gonna say, because where I'm up to now, major spoilers, but 10 out of 10 recommend. This book here though, this is a novella, which I think I previously said, and it is following Adina and Mac. Pretty much Adina grew up with Pei in Loot, and Peyton has been sent to the trials. Now that happens in the first book in Powerless. And it turns out Mac knows Hina is, I think, her name. Hira, sorry. It is Hira. So he knows Hira, who also got sent to the trials. And pretty much, let me tell you this, I can't remember Hira in Powerless. I can't remember what her thing was. I don't know what she was. I just know there was 8 people. I remember her name, but I don't specifically remember her. But it turns out Mac knows her, and he has a plan because he said that she will not be able to survive in the trials. So he's asked Adina to help him get into the castle so he can see her for one last time. That's what he's telling Adina, but he's actually planning something else, and he's planning that he won't be able to see Adina again, but him and Adina are getting so close, and she thinks that they're going to be friends after this, and they're going to still see each other and they can hang out. And then in his mind he's like, oh no, like I'm going to feel so bad because this isn't a part of my plan. I feel like he's going to fall in love with Adina and he won't be able to follow through with his plan. What his exact plan is though, we don't know yet. I feel like he wants to go to the castle and actually take Hera away, but I don't think that actually happens because I don't think I remember any of the contestants leaving. I full on don't remember this character. So that's all. Okay, so the lighting is like really bad right now, but we're just gonna have to deal. So it is currently after 11 p.m. and I have just shy of 13 hours left out of 24, and so it's time for a little updates. Powerful, I can't really say much about it at the moment without spoiling Powerless a little, but Powerful I'm actually liking more than Powerless. So as of right now we are on page 207, and I think there was roughly 240 pages of this book. So I'm going to take a break. I'm going to go to bed because this afternoon I have actually developed, I'm starting to get sick. I can feel like a cold coming on. So before it gets any worse, I'm going to go to bed instead of pushing myself to finish this because I want to enjoy this last bit. This last bit happens in Powerless and I really want to like feel it properly, read it properly, not just skim over it. But I do have to say I'm really loving Mac. I feel like he should have been in the main story. I feel like Adina and Mac should have been the main characters and Peyton goes into Adina's spot. Yeah. So I've only really been reading Powerful for the last couple of hours when I kind of just wanted like an easy breezy read because it's so easy. It's pretty fast paced, to be honest. So throughout the day I've pretty much been reading and listening to Zodiac Academy. So for an update, we are on page 57 for 8.5. And then for Zodiac Academy 8, I got up to page 164. So I'm going to go to sleep. I'm so sorry. I was hoping I would be able to like smash it out today, but I have the biggest headache. I'm getting a scratchy throat and I literally just feel like shit. So I'm hoping to sleep it off. I'm hoping tomorrow's the day. I'm going to finish this and then we're going to start a new book. We'll see. I kind of feel like a thriller, but I also kind of want to start Butcher and Blackbird, but I also want to start was it Beach Read? I think Beach Read was the one I was thinking of. Anyway, I will see you guys in the morning. I don't look the best, but I still don't feel the best. It is the next day and we had just under 13 hours left on the clock, so I'm gonna finish a Powerful. Hopefully this only takes me about an hour, I reckon. So let's go. Apparently it's really sad. I can see how it's sad. I wonder if I'll probably cry. We'll see. We'll find out together. I also have no idea where any of my bookmarks are, so I'm literally using a tiny teddy thing. Guys, I'm already sad. Mac is going to go and surprise Adina because in this book, or in the Powerless series, the first book has a bunch of trials And the main girl in this, Adina, her best friend is in the trials. So Mac has found out that the trials are taking place at the palace and they normally don't. So pretty much Adina was meant to go meet up with Mac, and he's like, you know what, she's not going to, she's going to go watch her best friend, so I'm going to go surprise her. I can't even think about it, but he's like, I'm going to go surprise her, it'll be the best, I got a gift for her, it was going to be amazing. If you knew what was coming, if you have read the first book, I'm already sad. I cried in the first book over this part, and hearing it from this point of view and hearing that there's someone waiting to see her and trying to surprise her, it should be illegal. The next chapter is Adina's, and the way it starts off. So I actually really enjoyed this. I liked this more than the main storyline. I wish Adina and Mac were the main characters. They deserved more than this. Can't say too much without spoiling it, but I do recommend, I feel like you kind of need to read Powerless to see the other point of view on what is happening at the end of this one. I'm gonna rate this one 4 stars. It was really good. It was really fast paced. I wish there was more, honestly. I wish there was more. We've got 12 and a half hours left, and the next book I'm actually going to read isn't on the TBR that I showed at the start of the video, but it is the Mindfuck series, because I've been seeing this everywhere. I'm super curious about it. It is about a serial killer that falls in love with an I say FIB because of Zodiac Academy, an FBI agent. So I think the FBI agent is on the case where she's the murderer, but he doesn't know that, and I think they fall in love. So we're gonna go read that, and it's 2 o'clock now. Hopefully I can kind of just stay here for a bit, but we'll see. The little baby's sick. Okay, so I'll be back with an update hopefully soon. So a little update, we are currently 58% through this book, which is on page 78. And this book is very short. It's literally 132 pages. Like, hello. So in this one we are following Lana, and she is a serial killer, but her reason for being a serial killer is to get revenge on a group of guys that done wrong by her. I'm not 100% sure on what they've done exactly, but they have definitely assaulted her of some description. She has cuts all over her that have scarred. So this happened 10 years ago, and they reckon that she died because they had beaten her up that much that she was unrecognizable, but she actually survived, and now she's under another person's name who actually did die that night. So she is going around one by one, absolutely brutally murdering these people. And along the way, she meets an FBI agent, Logan, who, I mean, she didn't know he was an FBI agent at the very start. And he actually works on serial killer cases. And he's actually working on her serial killer case. But she doesn't know that. She just knows that he works on serial killers, and she's kind of like, oh, I shouldn't be seeing this guy. Like, this can end badly. But does she stop seeing him? No. She keeps seeing him. She keeps messaging him. These two have literally like fallen for each other so freaking hard and quick that it's like, slow down, just slow down. So he doesn't know that she is a serial killer, and obviously doesn't know that she's the one that he needs to catch, and she's trying to not get caught, playing it cool. I don't know what she's thinking, honestly, but like, it's risky, but so far so good. I actually really like it. I really like the concept. I haven't read anything like this before, but this book is making me want to read Butchered and Blackbird. So I think I'm going to pick that one up next. I was thinking beach read, but I feel like I'm in like kind of like a serial killer, criminal minds, thriller, mystery kind of vibe. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish this book now. It's currently 9:22 and it says I've got about an hour left, and at the moment we have 11 hours and 14 minutes left on our timer. So when I finish this, there'll be about 10 hours left, and then I might start Butcher and Blackbird. Am I in the same top from yesterday? Maybe, but just remember I'm sick. Okay, so it is another day of just lounging around and doing nothing. So last night ended up finishing The Risk, and I didn't do an update because I literally was like passing out. So I just went straight to bed, and I wanted a fresh mind for this. This is something that I haven't read before. It is kind of different, but also I feel like it isn't that different, even though I've never read something like this before. But it is very interesting. It's very short, very fast paced. It's very like they throw themselves at each other pretty much at first glance, and they pretty much cut to the chase, get straight into bed. Very spicy, although I wouldn't say it's like too spicy, but like it does go, you know. The story itself is like this girl is literally risking it all for a boy. A boy who can send her away to jail. Tell me you love someone that much without telling me you love them that much. But the ending, like I was kind of expecting the ending, to be honest. Pretty much, I don't want to spoil it, but Logan works very closely with this girl called Hadley. And she is like, okay, so if you're seeing Criminal Minds, she is the Penelope in this book. So she also got hired because it was either work for the FBI or go to prison. And I kind of feel like that concept came from Criminal Minds, or vice versa, because it's pretty much like the exact same person. And I feel like Logan and Hadley is Derek and Penelope. So I'll leave it there. You can go read it yourself if you want to know more. It's very interesting. Pretty much it's made me want to go and read the second one like straight away, but I'm not going to. So I've got these two left. This one here I actually did start. I think I got like 12 pages, 20 pages in, but this is more like a diary entry thing. There's no chapters in this. It's just, it kind of looks like entries. So this is one of those books that I'm just like kind of gradually reading entries every now and then. I'm not really like focused so much on it. And then we have Butchered and Blackbird. Butchered and Blackbird, I'm actually really excited to read this now. I've had this on my TBR for the longest time, and I've been interested but not too interested in it. After reading The Risk though, with like that whole serial killer intake, this is about two serial killers who fall in love with each other. So I'm kind of on the bandwagon and I'm excited to read this now. I think this is more like a comical romance with like some gory scenes, but then also some funny scenes right after it to balance the whole thing out. Apparently some really weird stuff happens in this. For example, the trigger warnings is just, there is amateur surgery, skin ornaments, accidental cannibalism, not so accidental cannibalism. I'm sorry about the cookies and cream, ice cream, and then in brackets, I'm not really. Ill-advised use of kitchen implements. Like, what? And then the last trigger is, it's a book about serial killers. So there's generally messed up murder and chaos. Like the whole thing just sounds really good. So I know that this follows Sloane and Rowan, and every single time I hear the name Sloane, I think of Mark Sloane from Grey's Anatomy, and then I think of Lexi, and then I think of their scene. I can't say their scene. If you haven't seen Grey's Anatomy, I don't want to spoil that. So this book has 360 pages, which I've estimated it's going to take me about 7 hours on average to read. I do about 50 pages per hour roughly, which I personally feel like is so slow, but I think that's like quite common. But then I see people read like 100 pages in an hour and I'm like, how? Anyway, so I've got 9 hours and 52 minutes left. If you're wondering why it says 18 hours at the top, it's because like literally at the start of the challenge, I forgot to stop the timer, so I had to like add an hour back in and I had to erase the 24-hour one. So anyway, so we got just under 10 hours. This is going to take me about 7 hours. We're going to have on average 3 hours left. So I'm not too sure what I'm going to read at the end of this one, but we'll see. And yeah, I'll be back with an update. I know it seems like I've worn these PJs a lot, but they're just so comfy. And whenever I stay home, it's pretty much all I wear. So let's ignore that. So I've got just under 4.5 hours left, and we have now finished Butchered, and I keep saying Butchered, but we have now finished Butcher and Blackbird, and I actually really enjoyed this book. I liked it more than what I thought I was going to. Within the first 100 pages, I was a bit unsure if I was going to like the characters. The comedy side of this really brought it out. I didn't mind the romance in this. It wasn't really insta-lovey in a way. And I also didn't realize that it's technically a slow romance. Like, it takes them 4 years before they actually get together. And I did not know that. So it did surprise me, honestly. So I ended up giving it 4 stars. There is a bit of a twist at the end, which I already guessed who the person was going to be, because it is quite obvious, and like, why would you trust that person? But nevertheless, it's funny. It's got some good romance in it. They really deeply love each other, and the way that they came about, I loved their banter. Like, their banter at the start was just really, really good. I think that's what hit the nail on the head for me. So 4 stars, absolutely loved it. And the next one is Leather and Law, which I've heard mixed reviews about. So I was going to finish Girl in Pieces, but I've decided I am going to read this book, and the reason I wasn't going to start it was because I knew I wouldn't finish it in the 4 hours. But, oops, I've got it. So I tried to hold off to before I start this, but I just can't. I've had it for 2 days now, and I'm just like, I just need to start it, okay? It was lucky because I worked the last 2 days, so it did help on the reason why I haven't started it. I have actually read 2 chapters, I'm not going to lie, but so I just want to keep going. I'm not going to finish this book in the 4 hours though, because it is actually pretty like chunky and thick. It's over 500 pages, but I think I will probably get halfway or close to halfway. So depending how we go on time and how close to the end we are, you may see my final thoughts in this. If not, you will see my final thoughts in the January wrap-up, which will be out. So I'm going to jump straight into this right now. Okay, so we've officially finished the 24-hour challenge, and I got up to page 171 in Onyx Storm. So far, I really, really like this book, except it has taken me... I've been very tired, and because I did get sick, I don't know, my mind is just not computing anything that's not simple. And this did confuse me for the first, like, 50 pages or something. Like it just wouldn't sink into my head. Anyway, so far I do really like this. I am finding it good. I can see the character development so far, even though I'm not that far into it, but I feel like I did get a decent amount of time. So Violet has grown so much in her character. Xaden he kind of still seems the same in a sense, except for the whole, I don't want to spoil it, but except for the whole thing that happens to him in the last book. And even just overall as a team, they're definitely like family. They're definitely family. Like the whole second squad, they're family. Like they will all literally die for each other. They're there for each other, and it's honestly so sweet. Riddick in this one, oh, he's hilarious, so funny. Between him and Andana, like, I love them. Riddick reminds me so much of Seth out of Zodiac Academy though. But yeah, my prediction for this rating, I'm gonna guess it's gonna be around 4 stars, only because the last 2 books are around 4 stars and I love the world as a whole. So I don't see anything less unless it's really, really bad. But so in this 24-hour challenge, we started and finished 2 books. We started a book and we also finished a book. So a quick recap, we did read A Powerful. This, I'm still sad about it, like days after. They honestly deserved so much better. This one here, it actually surprised me. Rowan, I was honestly like, am I going to like this at the start? But Rowan, he's been on my mind. And in this one, like I just said, it's good. I see the character growth, and so far, like, I'm pleasantly surprised. Or I wouldn't really say surprised, but I'm happy. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying my time reading it. And then we also finished Zodiac Academy Heartless Sky, I believe, which was number 7. And that one, like, the ending was great, but the whole book itself, like, a good 80% could have been cut out and I would have been happy. It was just so long and so boring for the most part. And then we did start Zodiac Academy 8 and 8.5, but I didn't really read it or listen to it in this 24-hour challenge. So I honestly don't know how many pages of that I did read, so I'm not going to count it. And then the other one that we also read is the Mindfuck series, book 1. That one, honestly, I was surprised at the end. I kind of wanted to go straight into book 2 for that one, but I was like, no, we're going to mix it up. And when I was going to do it was when I actually went and got Onyx Storm. It was the day it got released, so I didn't go. And I was actually pleasantly surprised. I got about halfway and I was like, you know what, this is average. It's not really grabbing me. Like, I don't understand the hype. But I can see the potential, and I can see that book 2 is probably going to be better. So overall, without the Zodiac Academy series, we read 935 pages in the 24 hours. And I honestly can't remember how many pages in Zodiac I did read. I did not keep track. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Sorry if it's a bit messy or all over the place. Obviously, being sick and stuff, I didn't finish this as quick as I wanted to, but in the end I did record active reading time only, even if it did take a few days longer than what I anticipated. If you liked this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you can join the family. And as always, let me know your thoughts. Do you want another 24-hour reading challenge? I might try mix it up a little bit more, or do like a certain genre or something. Let me know in the comments below what you want, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.